To make a long story short, about 2-3 weeks ago, it was the day before my birthday, and I was driving up to a small ski resort by my college. This was pretty much the day I'd been waiting for over 6 months now. I was super excited. I just got a new board. I actually knew everything, new helmet, new gear. I was probably a little bit overboard, but I was pretty hyped for this day. And as by the title of this video, I'm sure you can imagine what happened next. It was actually my second run, so I got one run in. It was the first day this resort opened, and it was pretty much the worst conditions you could ask for. I mean, straight ice, no powder. But that was to be expected, and I knew that coming into it. So my second run, I'm still kind of getting back used to it, understanding the board, just warming up for the great season I was about to have ahead of me. And then one edge is all it takes. I was going on my heel edge, and to be honest, on any normal day I would have been completely fine. But that just straight ice that I tried to catch myself on, it did not end up well, and I ended up breaking this bad boy right here. It was less of the actual pain that I was upset about. I was just sitting there on the slope like, dude, you gotta be kidding me. I ended up getting to the bottom of the hill, went to the little help room. It's a very small resort, so there wasn't much resources there, but they did have a little medical center, obviously. So I went there, they wrapped me up, basically sent me to the doctor. I unpacked all my stuff, put my board in the car. It was about a 25-minute drive to the hospital. They told me that it was broken. At that point, I was pissed. I didn't know what to do at the time. I drove back to the dorm from the hospital. It was really my first time, going to the ER or, having an injury like this alone. About a week after the injury, I went back to the ER and they put the cast on. And the cast, I can show you, it's just a short arm cast because it's just my wrist. And so I can do most things with this arm besides, well, anything that uses my wrist. Grateful that it was just my wrist. However, at the time I was just so in my head about losing the season I've been waiting for so long, wasting all this money on new equipment, on a new board, and not being able to use it that season. All this stuff was just running through my head. It honestly became more of a mental injury than a physical one. And for those first 3-4 weeks of having this thing on, I honestly became lazy. I got in this huge rut. I stopped doing the things that I love, taking care of myself, making healthy food. I started eating horribly. I stopped stretching, I stopped meditating, I stopped doing all these things that I had been doing for so long. Obviously there were things that I couldn't do. I couldn't lift, I couldn't work out much, and that's what really affected me because working out is a huge part of my life. And so when I broke the wrist and I couldn't do that anymore, I basically translated that into everything else, every other part of my life. I stopped making meals for myself, I stopped making eggs. I started eating just so bad, mixed with not doing anything in the day. I mean, you know what? Those first few days, fine. I understand that. I was adapting to this new injury. I didn't really know what to do. After a bit, it was just pure laziness, and it was a mental thing. Because I wasn't doing anything, it became harder and harder to start doing those things again. I'm sure all of you have experienced this before. When you get in a rut, you stop doing things that you know you should be doing. You stop doing the things that are good for you and the things that you enjoy. After some time, the resistance to start doing those things again just gets greater and greater. When you do nothing, you don't just stay in the same place. You move backward. When you're not taking any action towards your goals or towards yourself, or for yourself, I should say, you're still taking action just the opposite way. You're moving in the wrong way. And this isn't to scare you or to make you feel bad, because we all have done it. And that's why I'm making this video, because I fell into this trap for weeks. If you are someone who is digging the hole right now, or you've been in this situation before, the best thing you can do is just take small steps to get out of it. This was truthfully only about a week or a week and a half ago where I realized, dude, what am I doing? I'm making this injury 10 times worse. So I got back to it. I started making healthy meals. I started stretching in the morning, meditating in the morning. I journaled at night. And truthfully, these things were not hard to do. It was stretching and meditating in the morning, which took me 30 minutes or less. Journaling at night, which took me 10 minutes or less. Quick 10-minute walks. I started doing things like playing the guitar and things that I actually love to do. I started editing videos again. So the overall message is, if you find yourself in a rut, just start by doing the little things. The things that you know are good for you and the things that you love to do.